Today I would like to talk about two issues that a network engineer has to take on. Monitor selected SNMP devices, hosts network interfaces, host pools and networks. And the second one is easily gather statistics about the traffic generated by a specific application protocol or maybe a couple of client-server pays. So today the presentation applying our SNMP devices rules, host, network interface, host pool and network rules, an exercise of network interfaces rules, the aggregated live flows, and finally an example of aggregated live flows in ntopng. So with regards to SNMP, the simple network management protocol is an internet standard protocol for collecting and organizing information about managed devices on IP networks and for modifying that information to change device behavior. So here in this slide you can see the page where in ntopng are displayed all of SNMP devices with many informations like device IP, SNMP version, link to the time series graph, the device name, description, the actual interfaces with errors, time since last poll, and last poll duration. So the problem, monitoring and discovering that a specific SNMP device has exceeded traffic thresholds is not possible using the previously engaged alerts of ntopng, such as ingress traffic, egress traffic, and etc. So we introduced the SNMP devices rules, and with that, it's possible to monitor a specific SNMP device or specific interface of a specific SNMP device with the interval frequency checks of 5 minutes, 1 hour, or 1 day. And with the SNMP devices rules, it's possible to set up a threshold that can be an upper or lower bound of bytes, packets, or interface errors. And when the threshold is crossed, ntopng will trigger an alert. And here, in this slide, you can see how to set up a new SNMP devices rule. And first of all, the user has to select the SNMP device, then the SNMP device port interface, the metric, the check frequency, and finally select the rule threshold and set up the value. Here, there are many examples of alert triggered by the SNMP devices rules. And in this case, the information showed are the device IP, the SNMP interface, always the SNMP device name, and the description with the threshold crossed for this value of bytes in this case. About the, so any question? Good. So about the host interface and host pool and network rules, same as for the SNMP rules, but for hosts, network interfaces, host pool and network. In this case, it's possible to actively monitor a specific host or a specific network interface or a specific host pool or a specific network with always the same interval frequency checks of 5 minutes, 1 hour, and 1 day. In this case, to set up the rule, the user, in case of rule type host, has to write in the target field the localhost IP or maybe the star for checking all of the local hosts. Otherwise, if the rule type is interface, select an interface, or if the rule type is host pools, select an host pool, or maybe select a local network. After that, the user must select a specific metric then select always, as always, the check frequency, and finally select the rule threshold. And here are all of the actual metrics that we are going to monitor with the rules at the moment. Metric for the host and network interface rules are the traffic received and transmitted of both, the score, the application traffic, and then for the host pools we have traffic received and transmitted or both, active devices, active hosts, blocked flows, and finally for the network rules we have broadcast traffic received transmitted or both, traffic received transmitted or both, engaged alerts, round trip time, score, TCP packets kept alive, TCP packets lost, TCP packets out of order, and finally the TCP transmitted retransmitted packets. And here is the local traffic rules page, where all of the rules set before are displayed, and this page is reachable going to hostess item on the menu and then local traffic rules. And in this page, I, in this case, set up two rules, one for the host pool, one for the network. And these are the metrics, check frequency, last measurement, at the threshold setup. The last column, there's an actions menu from a user can delete or edit the rule. Now, exercise. So, if there aren't any questions, you can go. So in this exercise, we will try to set the network interface rules with threshold more than 1 kilobyte, then set a notification endpoint recipient to receive a message on Telegram when the threshold is crossed. After that, restart ntopng. And remember, the alert name is network interface volume exceeded. So if you want, I will give you 5 minutes to do it, please. So in the meantime, I will do by myself. Okay, so I will start from the endpoints. First of all, click on plus. I put the name, TG endpoint, Telegram, and then I go to Telegram and select by asking to bot father token. Then click on add. Now I go to configure the new recipient for this endpoint. So, oh, sorry, too fast. So the new recipient, TG recipient, and now I need the channel ID of my chat with the bot. So get this bot. Here is my ID. Paste. After this, I want an advanced view because I have to select a specific alert type, and in this case, the alert is network interface volume exceeded. I'll do a check. Telegram. Here is the message. So add. Okay. Now I'll set up the local traffic rule. So hosts, local traffic rules, plus interface, in this case. The first one is okay. Traffic received and transmitted as metric. 5 minutes check frequency is okay for now. Volume more than 1 kilobyte. Then click on add. So the next 5 minutes, so at 2:15 we receive a message on Telegram. We hope so. In the meantime, I think that we'll continue the presentation if there aren't any questions or okay. So I have to restart ntopng, sorry. All right. So the second issue that we have to tackle today is find out the total traffic for a specific application protocol on the live flows page of ntopng. And in this case, using this live flows page, the user needs to activate the protocol filter and then sum up the traffic bytes. But with aggregated live flows, it's easy to quickly discover the total traffic and various other information related to a specific application protocol. And today, the current aggregation criteria are application protocol, client server and destination port, the triple client server and application port, and finally info. So in this slide you can see a bit example of client server and destination port aggregation criteria page. So clicking on the flows icon from this page, it's possible to jump to the live flows filter by the specific row values of the aggregation criteria. So in this case, if I click on this icon, I will jump to the live flows filtered by client IP, server IP, and destination port. Instead, clicking on the link in the clients or server column is possible to jump to the host details page. And now I will show you all of the aggregation criteria that we have at the moment. So with the application protocol, we show up the application protocol that the live flows are present at the moment, the count of flows, the total score, the count of clients, count of servers, breakdown, traffic sent, traffic received, and total traffic. For the client criteria, in this case, the subject of the page is client column, and then we have always the same statistics columns. As for the client, in this case, we have the couple client server criteria. So we have the two objects columns and then always the same statistics columns in this case. Same for the triple client server and application protocol. In this case, we have also the application protocol and then the other statistics columns. For the client server and destination port, in this case, you don't have a third column for the destination port, but we concatenate the destination port at the end of the server IP. But then the other columns are the same. Oh, I received the message on Telegram. This is an example of message. Can you see it? So there's indicated the interface, the severity is an error, network traffic interface volume exceeded is the alert ID, and then the condition, 2.99 megabytes more than 1 kilobyte. So, and this is the check frequency. Let's continue. If I Where's the mouse? All right. Client said okay. Now the info criteria. In this case, we have just the info column and then always the other statistics columns. Finally, we have the server criteria, and in this case, we have just the server columns and always the other statistics. So now we are going to make an example of aggregated live flows using ntopng. So in the live flows, if I want to know, for example, the total traffic of the flows that are going to use the application protocol MDNS, for example, I select MDNS, and then here are all of the flows that are using this application protocol. And to find out the total bytes of all of these flows, a user, in this case me, I have to sum up all of the total bytes of these columns. So this is difficult. So I have to take the calculator and make my sum. So to solve this problem, to easily have this final sum, just click on Analysis tab and select Application Protocol, search for MDNS, and here is the total traffic, 10.6 megabytes. And that's it. Any questions? No? Topology. Too quickly. Done. Thank you.